Tara has been the most visible.
You know how people will react, and I think when we got all that love, I think it really empowered us. Wow. And kind of propelled us to dig deeper.
I was perhaps a little more emotionally grown up to understand her conflicts a little better.
Every film space that you go to, it's monopolized by men.
After a long wait of 4 years, the wedding bells are ringing again. Made in Heaven is back with the second season. How excited are you guys feeling?
Super hyped.
Sobhita, you must be getting all kinds of messages, as you guys rightly spoke in the trailer launch. Like, what were the kind of messages you were getting? Why is this the wait?
Messages? I was getting trolled. They're like so long, this, that. But I am as excited as the audiences are, honestly.
Yeah.
It's obviously, it's been a long gap, but a meaningful one because there was COVID and we didn't want to compromise on the way the show was made.
Absolutely.
So now that we are ready, we couldn't be more excited.
But tell me, as an actor, like when you get into in the same character after a break, like does it get a little difficult, or you become Tara like very easily?
You cut me and you will find Tara inside my veins.
Yeah, I was going to say it was like seamless. We never felt only that we've gone from season 1 to season 2.
There was a gap, obviously, but I felt like I was perhaps a little more emotionally grown up to understand her conflicts a little better than I did before. Not that I was troubled by it the first time, but I did definitely feel like Tara's conflicts and her shortcomings and the way she deals with them during season 1, I don't know if I was adept at actually figuring it out in my real life.
Wow.
I was, I think, mentally not as evolved.
Yeah.
The second season, I understand her situation like slightly better.
Absolutely.
So that has
learning
helped.
curve, I think you all, and I think you have a one season experience, so I guess that would have been also.
Yeah. Alankrita, tell me, like, is the pressure of season 2 for real? Like, did you guys feel that?
You know, in the sense we felt the love a lot, because I think it was very palpable, and you know, people were always asking us about, first of all telling us how much they love season 1, and they're always waiting for season 2. So I think that love was a pressure, of course, but I think it was also a lot of encouragement, because I think when we were writing season 1 and shooting it, it was really like a shot in the dark. We didn't know, you know, how people will react, and I think when we got all that love, I think it really empowered us. Wow. And kind of propelled us to dig deeper into what more one could sort of explore in season 2. So I think it was also that love was like a sort of a responsibility as well. But I think that you know, it was a feeling of reassurance, and you feel like, okay, people are getting, you know, what we want to sort of do, and I think it really helped us dig deeper into the characters, and I think, you know, make season 2 more nuanced, more layered, also grander, because we did realize that it's, you know, so it was at both levels, like making it more spectacular, but also making it deeper and more poignant, and, you know, there's more pain also, there's more sadness. Absolutely. At the same time, there's more joy also. So, you know, to kind of sort of find that thing, and also to find new characters, so that you know, you get the core of season 1, and yet there's something new in season 2, which is why we decided to add, you know, not just more guest characters, but also characters, you know, the two more running characters for the season. So yeah, it was very exciting, actually, very interesting to do a season 2 after having done season 1.
Yeah, Neeraj, the debut in this show, the debutant. Tell me, what was your reaction when you saw Made in Heaven, and when this came your way, the second season? Like, how excited were you about being part of it?
I mean, I've been a fan of the season 1, and of course, you know, I mean, there are a lot of questions about how I'm a total misfit for this one, and that's precisely why I want to do it, because I thought this is something that, see, at a baser level, I think emotions are the same.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what the visage is. So I can instantly connected with the world, and of course, it was just fun to be part of this family, you know, and I felt that, you know, every film space that you go to, it's monopolized by men, and here I was thankfully out-womaned, and I'm so glad it happened, because not many spaces that you actually go there and you see that. I was literally very happy to work with all these women, because I learned so much from them. I was truly humbled by being around them to see that, like self-correcting my own gaze. Because no matter what you do, there is a certain male gaze that comes in. So that, and also we five of us were like buddies, because we would just walk into anyone's room and, and also it's part of like, it's not just like my episodes. So we were part of the whole arc.
Yeah.
So we get into everything. We probably shoot for each other also. So that vibe really like gave me total comfort to be part of it.
Tell me how important was Tara and Made in Heaven for your career, because it just gave you that amount of love that I think every actor desires.
Of the projects I've had the pleasure to be a part of, Tara has been the most visible, the most mainstream of the lot, and it's become somehow part of my identity in the public eye, and it's actually an honor. Because while I remember in an interview they were asking me, it's such an unconventional character, how do you feel? And the truth is, I have never found a character more conventional and more relatable than Tara, because every woman, duality is the nature of existence, right? Everyone is dabbling with multiple realities in their life. What you are with your mother is very different from what you are with your ex, with your friend, with your workmate, and all those are true versions of you. So I just feel like Tara is extremely relatable. She's not grey, she's not negative, she's not one thing. She's as human as anyone else is, and I think it's a pleasure to play a part that's so well fleshed out and given the spotlight, so you feel for her despite her lows, despite her wrongs. You still root for her because somewhere you see yourself in her.
And at the trailer launch, Zoya spoke about how this season is being lensed through a woman and LGBT community. But right now, we just saw that how Barbie has been receiving such a negative feedback. Do you think, is the society ready to accept cinema through a woman's eye?
I mean, I should answer this.
I think it's more ready in some ways than before, for sure. I think we have made some progress. But I think it is a fight because, it's a much longer sort of thing to understand, a harder thing to understand, but basically popular culture has been shaped by men for decades and decades. And until there, and there's, the percentage of women who are telling stories behind the camera in kind of has been very, very minuscule. So the form of what is perceived as popular culture, it has actually not been shaped by women. So the whole form actually exists through very male eyes. So, and still the percentage of women who are telling stories is very, very minuscule, and all we know is what we have learned through a very patriarchal gaze. So, the true shift actually can only happen when there are many more women in powerful positions behind the camera. And that's why I say that until half the films and shows that are made by women, actually we don't know what that will mean. It's not going to happen in our lifetime. So we don't know what it'll mean in terms of form of storytelling, what kind of stories are being told. Because for so long, it's been just half the population, So I do feel that we have a really long way to go. And from that perspective, I think Barbie is a great, it's a huge cultural phenomenon, because it's a film about girls, for girls, talking about women and like a feminism 101, while still selling a doll which, which we all have had complicated relationships with as kids. So I think it's very interesting, and that people are going to watch it. So I do think it's interesting.
When we have more female ladies who will go on to become female directors, who will go on to become like writers, producers, like how Zoya and Reema have been. They've been first ladies and they've like come up, right? So I feel somewhere there has to be something like what happens in Hollywood, where you have an inclusion rider, where you stipulate that, okay, 50% have to be women. Or like, all of us right now, we do that. We do not work unless we don't have 50% women on set.
Wow.
That is a thing that we do. I've now gone a little ahead with including minorities and, LGBTQI. But I think we should have that, and also there should be like the director, I feel, is a person who drives this thought and the director should take the onus. Because people do not listen to, say, another external person telling them about, okay, this is how you're supposed to behave. They listen to the director. So I think we men have to also correct ourselves. I guess.
Absolutely.